Hello, artists. Let's continue our lesson on Alma Thomas in color field studies. So what we're going to do today is create a mosaic. That's going to be fun. What you're going to need is you're going to need some colored construction paper from your colored construction paper pack. Completely your choice of colors. I chose to stick with the color wheel and start with pink, red, then the violet, and then the blue and white as well. So I'm starting with the neutral and just going to the dark colors. And as I work, I'm going to start with my white in the middle, and then my blue will be on the outside. What I need to do though is I need to make mosaic squares. So what we're going to need to do first is take one of the colors. And what I have done is I have found some bowls to put my color squares in after I make them. The idea is you are going to take your one piece of white construction paper from your pack, and you're going to cut about an inch wide strip off, just like that. Hold it over your bowl or plate or whatever you're using to collect, and just feed it into your scissors and make your squares. Look at this. If I rest it on the side of my bowl, I can just use the bowl to hold my strip and chop away. It is better to make some that are too small, by the way, than too big. So once you do that, you do one, go, cut another strip, and then continue making your squares. Do this until you make as many as you can. You may want to try with just half of the paper and, start maybe even by cutting the paper right in half like this and discarding or just holding on to this side. You don't need it for right now. Using this to make your strips, and just see how much a half a piece of paper makes. Later, if you need to make more squares, you've got it standing by, which is fine, but you didn't end up making squares out of a giant piece of paper and wasting a bunch of time and then having hundreds of squares left over that you don't need. That's time you can't get back that you spent chopping up a bunch of squares. So maybe do it for a half a sheet of paper, make a half sheet paper's worth of squares. It helps to cut your sheet of paper in half first, because now I don't know where my halfway mark is on this piece of paper, but that's okay. I'm just going to kind of guess. Cut a few strips first. If you want to try putting some strips next to each other like this and cutting them, if you hold them really carefully, you will probably be okay, but don't try to cut too many pieces of paper at once, or it will either break your scissors or start warping the squares, and then they don't end up being a square. They'll end up being a weird shape. Okay, focus on that, and then we will continue in a moment with the next step in this lesson. Let's make some squares.